What is up, everybody? That's here, and today I'm back bringing you guys 5 more VGC Regulation G rental codes you need to be using in your own games that you might not have seen from other content creators. I made one of these videos last week. It was pretty well received. If we get 100 likes on this video, I'll make another one next week. I think the biggest form of critique that I got in the last video was not including Pokepaste at the start of every single rental code breakdown. So I've actually went ahead and got all the Pokepaste done for every single one of these teams. I'm sorry that I didn't include it in the last one. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I went and left a comment with all the Pokepaste on the last one, but I have all the Pokepaste for you this time, so you guys don't have to worry about that. They're going to be linked in the description of this video. That being said, this is actually a really cool team. This is like easy 252 squad team. This is probably the easiest team to use on the whole video, so be sure to take a look at this one. But it's going to be like Focus Sash Whims. It's going to be Scarf Ogre with, I really like the Terra Blast Water. So like if you're afraid of like missing an Origin Pulse or something and you bring this Ogre out in the mid game, you just have to clean up, you can just go over Terra Blast Water and just hit super hard. Don't need to use Hydro Pump there. I really like that tech. This is going to be a Choice Band Water Ursh with Ice Spinner, good to tech into that Rilla. This is going to be a really aggressive Play Rough Fire Pawn. And this mon, this is the weirdest mon on the team, I think. It's Bite Mousehold. Technician Bite Mousehold is actually really cool tech into like Shadow Rider. So I think this is actually going to be really fun to play with. If you're pinned by like a really aggressive Shadow Rider team, you can just pivot in the Mousehold. They can't really do that much to you, and you just hit them hard with that bite. They're never going to see that coming. And last but not least is a Imprisoned Trick Room Entity Male with Water Terror. This is the most complex EV spread mon on this team. And I think that this is like really important to have this mon, otherwise you get like hard walled by like Ice Rider TR shenanigans. So really cool teamer, very aggressive. Like I said, this is probably the easiest to play team on the list. And before we get into the games, I'm just going to remind everyone that we are trying to get to 50k subscribers on this channel. We're at 43,900, I think like 12. If you guys want to help me out, I'm trying my best to get to 50k this year. I'm doing my best to make the type of content that you guys want to see. I'm going out and scouring the web for unconventional rental codes that I think would be a lot of fun for you guys to use. So if you guys like that sort of stuff, you want to see more, think about dropping a sub on the channel. And without further ado, let's get into this first game with this amazing Choice Scarf Kyogre rental team. Wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, Kyogre versus Groudon, the El Clasico. I wonder how much damage Groudon takes from a pop from like Technician Mousehold. That'd be a lot. I think we actually bring the Kyogre in the mid game. I think you actually can lead like Whims Ursh and then just like pivot in the Ogre, pin the Groudon, easy peasy lemon squeezy. If we want to click our Terra, we don't really get KO'd by the Flutter. And then from there, if we stagger Tailwind in the back with Whims, that's going to be really nice. So if we want to go like these two into the Ogre, we can still bring like one random mon. I don't really know if we need Fire Pawn here. Fire Pawn's also pretty good into Groudon. You could just lead Fire Pawn and Whims. That's probably also fine. Let's just try that. I want to use the Bite Mousehold though. I wonder how much damage that does like Bolt. This one's not bad here. What if we... I'm going to bring Entity in the back. Let's go. I think Entity in the back is going to be really good at stopping Thunderclaps from just picking apart our Ogre. It's going to be really good at just pinning their Urshi Water, if that's Urshi Water. It hits all of those mons for great damage with Expanding Force. So I think Entity is probably the right mon here. Worst case scenario, I can also like flip a Trick Room and just like turn a Trick Room on. If you want to go like Scarf Ursh, Booster Flutter, Photosynthesis Jumpluff, and like a heavy speed Groudon, I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm just gonna click Trick Room and then beat you with this Entity, bro. That you always have to lean into that if that's an option. So here we go. Let's see what they want to do here. I don't know. I don't think you lead Groudon here. Maybe you do. Jump Up Groudon could be usable. All right, so no lead Groudon. I think this is good for us, right? We just pop their Flutter, right? So they're. Let's see if they even get a booster. They might be like sashed on this team. Booster, okay, booster speed probably, right? And our Ogre Pawn is full Jolly, right? So we're not going to really be afraid of that. So we're full Jolly, 2v2, cruise control for cool here. I'm looking at what we have on this Whims. I really like that we still have Encore. We can Misty Terrain to cut damage from... I could honestly just like Misty Terrain Protect. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to just pop the Tailwind, and I'm just going to pop this Flutter in the mouth. I think I'm going to Wood Hammer it. And then I'm going to get to bring in my Entity. I like that. I want this Flutter gone. And I don't think that KO's a bulky defense Flutter, but I think this might. It's a little bit stronger. And of course, I never get my crits, so I'm just not going to do the other one. And if you wanted to pivot in for Groudon or something, that'd be great. So let's see. Can Jolly Ogerpon just straight pop a Flutter? Survey says, would hammer these though? No, we can't. Unlucky. Never lucky. Should have went for the Ivy Cudgel. There's the Draco. Like I said, we could have went for the what is that move? We could have went for the Misty Terrain to cut that damage. I don't think it was important. Like I don't like now that you're at -2, I don't really care. Trick Room. Cool. I think that's fine. We're just gonna Trick Room it back and KO your Flutter because right now your Flutter is slower than my Indity, right? And your what is it? Your Bolt's too weak to do anything here. So we're gonna flip it back. Honestly, we could just click Expanding Force here. Actually, Wims is slower than this is fine. I don't really think this is a problem. Moonblast there, flip it back, and then just get ready to start pinning. Trick Room Flutter is obnoxious, like booster speed Trick Room Flutter. Like, imagine if I would just pop them with the Ogerpon, bro. All right, let's see what happens. You can pivot. You have to assume that like my Indity can just go for massive damage expanding force. You should be pivoting out your Bolt, and Flutter goes for like what, like a Moonblast. Like I don't really care. Volt Switch, good play. They're breaking Sash on Whims, which I don't even know if we were Sash. We were Cloak, right? No, we were Sashed. Good play then. And then like what, like D-Gleam, Moonblast. It'd be funny if they Icy Winded, knowing that I'm flipping it back. That'd be really cool. Is this Groudon? Urshi Dark? Are you real? It's actually Urshi Dark. Ugh, that's so unfortunate because I went through a lot of work to bring this Indie to check Urshi Water, and I guess it's pretty obvious they Urshi Dark because they're not a Groudon team, but that's fine. Trick Room is flipped back. You can bring out Bolt, you can bring out Groudon. Moonblast does great damage into that Ursh. There is still a Psychic Terrain up, and this Indity has Dazzling Gleam, right? So that's going to be really, really good. Dazzling Gleam is going to be exactly what we need to like shred through that Ursh. I don't think there's a problem with doubling into the Ursh here. It's probably going to be what we need to do, and then if we can get Groudon versus Kyogre in the back, we should be able to win that one. Even if, like, the terrain's not on our side, or sorry, the weather's not on our side, we can just Ice Beam it. Cool. So there's the Bolt. That's the right play. I think Bolt's probably right. We have Ghost Terror here. Don't really need that. I bet you're Sashed. Like, I'll go for the double up here. I think that this is fine. Yeah, I'm going to respect Sash Ursh. And we still have a Tailwind up, right? So we are faster. I think they're going to take out the Whims this turn. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Detect play, but at the same time, I don't really think we're like, that's fine. Like your Bolt's gonna take a Dazzling Gleam. You don't really want to eat that, And I could also just double in the Bolt, assuming that you're AV. Ooh, they're going Terra. What Terra are you? Terra Bolt? Okay, Terra here. Is it Poison? Dark. Okay, so you're gone. Don't Sucker Punch, bro. I'm trying to help you out. We're in the Master Balls here. There is a Psychic Terrain on the board. Don't click Sucker. They didn't click it. Good for them. Happy to see that work. Is that Sashed? Or are you just alive? Are you just an absolute Chad? Wow, he was an absolute Chad. He just ate that. But I went with the right double up. I made the right play. I don't want to get Snarled, and I don't want to get... how would I word this? I don't want to get Snarled or E-Webbed. E-Web would be kind of lame here. Really, really good play from our opponent. Really, really solid. It's going to break my Whims, force me to bring out my Ogre, and now they have the pin, but their Terra's down, right? That's actually really good, that they have the pin, but their Terra's down. So, like, Kyogre, it's going to be playing second fiddle to this Groudon here, but I think, like, Expanding Force Ice Beam just does a lot. I think that I should be able to get this. I think I have one more turn of Tailwind. I might double into the Bolt here. What are you going to do? Yep. Special attack boost, obviously. Last turn Tailwind, right? Yeah, so I think you just double into the Bolt. Try and get that guy off the board the best that we can. We have the Ice Beam here. I'm more afraid of Bolt than I am of Groudon. And I'm going to go for the Expanding Force. That looks to be AV Bolt, but like this is my best option. I will click on the Water Terra here, and for the only reason that we want to click the Water Terra here is because Groudon could just Heat Crash this Indity, and I don't want that to happen. So we're just going to target that Bolt. This is Twisted Spoon boosted Expanding Force, by the way. It's going to be pretty good damage. Yeah, let's see what happens. Kyogre, Ice Beam. This is Timid Ogre. Let's see. Yeah, it feels weird playing Ogre without, like, a secondary Rain Dance setter, but we'll see how this goes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ice Beam! Crit! Oof! Big damage. Not going to be enough, but big damage. Oh, almost. I could have nuked the Groudon. I could have won. I can't believe their Groudon just, like, decided to eat that. That's not AV. That's not anything, like, that's weird. That's so weird. All right, actually, we haven't lost yet. I know that sounds so crazy. I still should outspeed their Bolt. So if I can dodge a P-Blades here, I think I can win. Because Kyogre, it lost its Scarf. I want to see what they do here. Let's see what my turns on TR, or my terrains are. Cool. 2 turns left on that. Yeah, I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam into the Bolt. Don't think it has Protect. I think it's AV. It has to be AV, right? It's so chonky. If Groudon protects, I win. Unless they're like some sort of weird full speed Groudon, but like I doubt. Yep. Bolt's down. Do we dodge P-Blades? Survey says. How's that P-Blade dodge? Wait, did I get Earth Powered last turn? Are you special Groudon? It is special Groudon. I didn't even notice that. Holy moly, I should have lived fine. Yeah, we got this. Easy peasy. We outspeed you. And that is all she wrote. Special Groudon, huh? Kyogre takes those. She's like, but I clicked Electro Web. Why are you so fast? And it's like, why are you so slow, bro? Holy moly. We take those wins all the way to the bank. So, I mean, honestly, if this team can beat, like, a Sun team where, like, we lost the Weather War, it just shows that this team, like, has the right tools. And they tried every, like, cheese trick in the book. I bet that was, like, Eruption, like, quiet, maybe not quiet, but like Eruption, like heavy special attack investment Groudon with like Fire Terra. We forced the Ursh to go for a Terra early because they couldn't bring out the Groudon. I think we did a lot of things right. Maybe we could have played the first turn a little bit safer, but I think I'm happy with how that ended out. I think the Indy really showed its strength in that matchup. That Twisted Spoon Expanding Force did so much more damage than the Dazzling Gleam with only like 44 points of special attack in nature. So pretty cool stuff. We didn't get to use a Mouse Hold, but if you guys see those Shadow Riders, don't be afraid to just pivot in one of your normal types and then repin with like a potential Bite Mouse Hold in the Shadow Rider. If you guys happen to get a Bite on a Shadow Rider and it gets the KO, like let me know in the comments and let's take a look at the next team. Alright, so we just got done using Kyogre. I feel like using a little bit of Groudon myself. We're going to be rocking a Choice Scarf Crunch Groudon for that anti-Shadow Rider tech on a little bit of Grab Hypnosis with Sableye and Iron Valiant. We're also rocking a Stellar Terra Ice Shard Shempao. Stellar Terra is actually my favorite Terra type, and I'm really, really excited to see it on this team. We're actually going to take a look at these EVs really quick, and I want to say before we get into this, one of the reasons why like I don't like including the EVs a lot of times is because they're wrong, right? So I think a lot of these EV spreads can definitely be optimized. Let me know in future entries in this series if you guys want to see how I would change these EVs to better be optimized. Like putting just full HP investment probably isn't the best play here. You can probably get away with a little bit of defense, probably get away with a little bit of speed def. Maybe you don't need that much speed on your booster. There's tons of things you can do to a lot of these different EV spreads to actually make them a little bit more effective. You don't need this much HP on your Bolt. You'd probably get a little bit better returns by putting some in speed def, maybe a little bit in speed here. Sableye's okay, but you can probably optimize it just a little bit. You might want just a little bit of speed or even a speed reduced set to be able to actively use that foul play correctly. And then Shempao, like 2v2 Adamant is okay since you're Sash, but like you might need to be Jolly and you might need to want to move things around a little bit. Groudon just going 2v2 cruise control for cool. You can honestly just cut this into like a 244 here, cut that up into a 4-4 right in each of these defensive and HP stats and actually get like just more points than you would normally. Same thing goes for like the Ogerpon. You can optimize this a little bit. Like you can cut up some of the HP. You might need this much speed. You might need a little bit more, might need a little bit less. Let me know if you guys want to see me optimize these EV spreads in future entries in this series. But that being said, the Pokepaste for this is in the description if you guys want to take a look at it. I think this team's actually really cool. Grab Hypnosis is very fun. I played against this team I think recently on stream as well. So hopefully they don't know that we're Choice Scarf Groudon, and hopefully we get some massive wins with Ground Terra P-Blades off Choice Scarf. Wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, so in the first battle, we used Kyogre and we fought Groudon. And in the second battle, we're using Groudon and we're fighting Kyogre. That's ridiculous. But this guy has all the cool tech. There's a Torn on that team. They can reset the weather with the Tornadus over there. Really, really cool stuff. Does our Sableye have Sunny Day? No, it doesn't. It has Foul Play, Gravity, Encore, Disable. I think that I'm actually still going to lead with Sable. I think Sable is a really solid lead here. I think Bolt is also really good in this matchup. If I were just to lead Sableye and Valiant, though, I think that I'm in an okay spot. We have Wide Guard for Kyogre. I vibe with that. We're going to bring the Groudon. And Pow does not have Sucker Punch. I think I'm going to bring Bolt, which looks really weird in this matchup. But I really think you have to pin the Ogre, and I'm going to try my absolute best to force their Terra on something else so I can pin the Ogre with the Raging Bolt. Also, it's a really good pivot for like a Spout if you are pinned, so I think it's probably going to be our best option. That being said, Valiant is really good, and I want to be able to hold on to my Valiant as long as possible. That's great. I'm not really afraid of this board. What do you do, like Wild Bolt Storm? Like, I think I'm just going to grab Hypnosis. I can even just grab Pivot and Groudon. I don't want to get Weatherballed, but let me think about it. Yeah, actually, no, I'm going to be able to bring in whatever I want in just a sec. So we're going to go for the grab. Grab a TDs. And remember, this is going to let our Hypnosis auto-sleep things. And so I think we're going to have a little bit more value by Hypnosising the Torn than the Thundy. I think the Thundy is a threat, but I don't want you to be able to, like, rain dance me. Taunt is absolutely amazing. You know what happens when you click Taunt, though? Do you know what happens when you click Taunt? You don't get to click Tailwind, which means I'm just in a great spot, and I can then Encore you next turn, which means you're just going to deny Tailwind. Unless you hit my Sableye and force my eject button out, but, like, we'll see what happens. And if you do that, like, I can do whatever I want. Wild Bolt. Double hit by Wild Bolt, never lucky. So you're going to eject button me out. That's unfortunate, but oh, and a para onto my Sableye. And remember, we actually, of course they double hit because we click Gravity, but I can just bring in Groudon and be like, you know, easy peasy lemon squeeze these. So let's go into this. And you're probably going to be able to get a Tailwind up, but I don't know how much I really care about that. I think I'm going to bring in the Groudon. I think I'm going to pivot in the Bolt and just P-Blades out. Like, what are you going to do? Like, Rain Dance over it? You're going to probably get your Tailwind up this turn. I think that that's fine. I don't know if I need to double dip my ground here, because I don't think that I need to. I'm just going to try and save some of these. We're going to be able to bring our Iron Valiant back out and stagger, or not stagger, we're going to be able to, like, wide guard out the Ogre. So let's go. You can click a bunch of stuff. You can click your Tailwind here. If you click Rain Dance, you're going to lose both these. You're going to lose your Torn at least, right? So let's see what happens here. Big Photosynthesis boost on this Bolt. That's what we like to see. There's the Tailwind. Good play. You can click Wild Bolt. No one's saying you can't. Sludge Bomb into what was Valiant. Good play. Hopefully no poison. Nice. So good to see no poison for me. Dunzo, bro. And you can send out the Ogre. Like, you can send it out. That's the thing. Like, I have no issue with you sending it out. I think what we're going to be trying to do... We're going to be trying to force Terra on stuff, but, like, let's see how this one goes out. Is it Ogre time? I'm just going to pivot. Yeah, there's the Ogre. So I'm just going to try and repin. Do we have Volt Switch? No, we don't. We just have Thunderbolt. All right, so my idea here is going to be Fodder Sableye. Right? Take out the Thundy, and then from there, I bring out the Groudon and I have control. Great play from them, actually pivoting out the Thundy. They know that that's their win con. Let's see what's coming in here. Ursh? I don't know about that one, Chief. I think they actually just tried to block a Thunderclap. Like, that's what they're doing here. And I'm assuming that Kyogre's going Grass Terra right here. I'm assuming. You know what you do when you assume, right? You win. Let's see what happens. If you double dip Water Terra, you're a fiend. If you go Ice Terra, you're a fiend, bro. Let's see it. Grass, very standard. Cool. So Groudon doesn't have that many tools to break this. Bolt's not amazing into it anymore, but I think we still have really good tools. Because Gravity's still up. If I get to Spout, absolutely fine. Sableye goes down. We can bring out the Valiant here. If we... Well, let's see what happens to this Ursh, right? If this Ursh just gets straight KO'd, Valiant's not bad. Nice. So that was probably Scarf Ursh. So I'm looking at Valiant. I think I'm going to bring out the Valiant and go Wide Guard Thunderbolt into your Torn. I low-key want to Thunderclap it. What if I went in with, like, Groudon here? I'm just looking at stuff I want to do. Yeah, I don't know how I need if I can get away with that. I'm going to come with the Valiant. I probably could have come in with the Groudon because that would have forced the... What is it? That would force the Tornadus into a Rain Dance this turn, and then I just pivot fodder the Valiant. I don't know if that's like the right play. This will probably just force a taunt, and you can't taunt me before I get up this Wide Guard. So that's going to be fine. I just need to get this thing off the board, and I think I can actually win with Groudon. Wide Guard's just here to stop that Spout. We don't know anything about your Kyogre set. I think it's probably really aggressive. So let's see what they got. Taunt, there it is. Awesome. They got to stop the Hypnosis, right? And we're just trying to wait out their Tailwind for the most part here. Ice Beam. I don't know if I die. Don't die. No freeze? Yo. And I just want to say a little bit, like, it wouldn't even have been close if like we went and optimized this EV spread a little bit. Like you don't need this much HP on an AV Bolt. You got to put like 60, 68 points in that thing. So it got a little bit close. Maybe they low rolled it. That being said, we are taunted right here. This is the last turn of Gravity. This is the last turn of their Tailwind. I could pivot in my Groudon and save my Valiant, and that's probably not bad. Yeah, I'm going to pivot in the Groudon, activate the Photosynthesis, go for like a fadeaway Thunderclap, and then bring out the Valiant and just like try and win out. I don't see a problem with that. Cool. And you might not even spout, even though you're totally going to spout. Do I go for the Blind Hypnosis into this Kyogre? Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm big thinking about it, dude. I could also just like coaching Heavy Slam or Heat Crash. That's also an option. This is free damage. Heck yeah. Spout. Groudon eats it. Just barely. Alright, so we got like one more turn here. I think we do need to go for the Blind Hypnosis, right? Am I wrong? I don't think coaching boosted Heat Crash KOs Ogre. Let's run a calc. Gravity turn back to normal. I mean, we're going to wait to send this guy out in just a sec. So it's going to auto-send the Valiant out in like 2 seconds. So let's just run this calc here. We got Groudon. Ooh, Groudon's faster. So like actually coaching boosted won't do it. Groudon here. And let's just run like a Kyogre. Let's just plug in like a base Ogre. And let's plug in like Heat Crash, all this other stuff. And I think we're Jolly Groudon, so it's not. We're also doing a little bit less damage. All right, so right now we got Heat Crash into Grass Terra Ogre. And it doesn't really do all that much. It's going to be Sunny. That's a lot of damage. We don't know how they're built, though, you know? That's a lot. That's surprising how much that does. I actually think we just go the Heat Crash and the Moonblast and probably get it. They might have some bulk, but, like, honestly, it's not going to drop it down that much. So let's try the Heat Crash. I'm surprised that does that much. Yeah. Yeah, this should just get it. Big damage. Look at this. Woo! Oh my gosh! And then the Valiant just comes in hot. Cool. Yeah, I'm surprised I did that much. I thought that would have done about. I thought that would have like high rolled into like 60. Not the other way around. So really, really cool stuff. Heat Crash busted, dude. Nice stuff. Valiant takes the win, and so we win the Weather War in this one. And yeah, this is just like a really, really cool team. You guys should definitely try this one. Be sure to add this one to your repertoire. And again, remember, if you guys add these rental codes to your game, you have the rental code forever unless you delete it. Like, if the creator takes down the rental before you add it, it's gone forever. Even if you see the numbers, they're not going to work. But if you add the rental to your game, you will have it even if the original creator deletes the rental. So add all these rentals to your game if you like the teams. And we're going to hop into the next one, which should be pretty fun. Let me check what the next one is. The next one's going to be, the next one might be my favorite one on this whole list. It's going to be a really cool Walking Wake Miraidon team. Let's hop right into it. Here we go. All right, so like I was saying, I think this is my favorite rental team on today's video. It features Walking Wake with Dark Terra Snarl next to Miraidon. This is actually a really, really cool team. It features another anti-Shadow Rider tech with the Crunch Entei. I really, really like that. Mental Herb, like bulky Whims, Iron Hands Orthworm. I think this team has a lot of cool stuff going for it. And I just want to shout out like the best, like most aesthetically pleasing EV spread in the game. Like, we got the 244, 252, 444 split, and it makes you still get that booster speed boost on your Walking Wake. This just hits all my right buttons for like a dopamine machine. I really, really like this Walking Wake spread. I really like the Snarl. I really like that Dark Terra. It probably OHKOs most Shadow Rider sets while still resisting the Astral. And remember, Shadow Rider is something that definitely checks Miraidon in a lot of matchups, so I think this is great anti-meta tech. The Whimsicott spread, I think, like we mentioned, is a little bit bulky. Could definitely be optimized, but it's cool they're using their nature just to get to that 150 to outspeed, like, standard, like, Urshifu spreads from, like, Adamant Urches. So very, very cool stuff here. Light Screen's also good. Like I said, I really like this Entei spread. It looks like it's outspeeding, like, some weird stuff. It outspeeds like Dangos and stuff like that, so that's fine. Miraidon, obviously fine. It can be optimized a little bit, putting some in defense and Spadef, but I think it's still good. Iron Hands, I think this is the event Iron Hands from Marco. So just standard Iron Hands, nothing too special about that. And then last but not least, this team has an Orthworm in it. I don't know if we're going to bring the Orthworm, but they're going to be like definitely dedicating resources to bring an Orthworm. Remember, one of the best mons against Miraidon is going to be Landorus, and that's why this team has like a booster speed Walking Wake and other mons that give Landorus a hard time. So the fact that we have the Walking Wake and the Orthworm is really going to disincentivize that Landorus play and make Miraidon just like super sweep stuff. I also really like that it's like Ground Terra Orthworm, so even if they wanted to go for like Sludge Bombs after they forced our Terra, we would still resist those Sludge Bombs from the Landorus. I just really, really like this spread. Very, very cool team. So be sure to add this one to your game, and we're going to hop into some battles. Wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, so before we get into this one, we are trying to get to 50K subscribers this year. If you guys are liking the content, you're learning something, you're having a good time, think about dropping a sub. We're about 7K away from 50K. It takes, like I said, 2 seconds to drop the sub on the channel, and let's get right into this one. A little bit of Entei mirror match. Groudon versus Miraidon, the El Clasico as well. Umbreon's really, really cool tech on that team. Pal's going to be problematic. Let me really think about what we want to do here. Wake might not be coming in this matchup. That being said, we can force Terra on that Groudon early. Wake's great, so maybe we want to lead Miraidon. I don't think there's a problem with like Miraidon hands. I think Miraidon Whims is actually really viable. And then we can pin with Wake. I'm trying to force the Wake if you can't tell, because I think it's so good. And I really like this Entei into the mirror. E-speed's big. Yeah, I vibe with that. That's super cool. Let's go with this. Yeah, I love the Entei spread here. I think Entei mirrors are so fun. And there's so many different ways to play Entei. You know, it didn't used to just be like an extreme speed Andy. People used to use Entei as like a special wall back in like 2016. I know I used to use like Chesto Rest Entei as like a Xerneas check in 2016. That was a lot of fun. But let's see what they got here. Umbreon and a little bit of Flutter Mane. The cool thing is we can definitely pivot into this. I think I'm just going to... I think I'll Tailwind. I don't think I'm going to get Trick Roomed. I think I'm going to click Tailwind and just Volt Switch the Flutter. You don't need to nuke this Umbreon, like, ever, actually. That's not, like, ever a thing that has to happen here. And you don't want to Electro Drift into the Flutter. We're just going to Tailwind. We're going to do this. We're going to try and Encore some stuff. Get some good damage, pivot into the Entei, and get that big fire typing resist into any sort of shenanigans that they're coming at us with the Flutter Mane. So let's see what they got here. I was trying to lead something that would force a Groudon Terra early. Awesome. I'm so happy to potentially see like Groudon. Whatever comes in here is going to take some big damage here. That's great. Yeah, this is fat damage. Like, we're super fine with that. Like, what if I just clicked Dazzling here? They just would have lost the game. And now we don't have to go in with Entei. But I think they're probably going to be clicking Snarl, so I will. Snarl seems really, really good here. We get to see a little bit about the Bolt set as well. It looks like it could be vested. It might be orbed, but I think this is fine. And we're just gonna put up like what, like a Light Screen next turn? Are you taunting? You're not going for Yawn, bro. Oh my gosh, you yawned! It's electric terrain, bro. Bro, who did you even yawn? You yawned the Entei slot, Lamau. I'm gonna stick the Sacred Fire into the Bolt because that's more threatening. I can't Encore the Jolteon, but I can just click like a Light Screen right here, and Light Screen's gonna be cracked against this Raging Bolt. Love Light Screen Whims. What a cool set. And let's just stick some big burns. Sacred Fire 50% of the time, every single time. Look at that big damage into that Bolt. Resisted, and we get the burn. That's what we like to see. And let's see what happens next. We take a little bit of orb damage. Electro Web. Sounds good. We can pivot back in the Miraidon if we feel like it. You can go for like a Snarl or something. And remember, that Light Screen's really helping us out here. Big fat foul play. Love that. Big damage. All right. What do we want to do here? We can E-speed out. You can Thunderclap me. I think I'm going to E-speed and Moonblast the Bolt. I don't see an issue with that, honestly. Because this will make the Thunderclap fail if you Thunderclap that slot. And then once you have the Entei, there's the Thunderclap fail. Remember, because E-speed is a higher priority than Thunderclap, so it's going to make that fail. Take out that Bolt. Bolt would be a problem, like being able to flip on like a Fairy Terra to like pin our Miraidon with like a Draco or something. So I'm happy that thing's gone. I'm allowing you to get a KO here. And remember, their Flutter is boosterless. So like you can have like Sash Flutter. I don't really think there's a problem with Sash Flutter. We still have a Light Screen up. I honestly think I can probably just come in here and just like Fairy Terra, like D-Gleam, just double tap out their board. Let's see what they got though. Trying to use this thing before. Ooh, Miraidon, nice. So if we make them go Fire Terra here. what is that? Walking Wake just pins the heck out of it. And you go for like a Protect or like the wrong move or like Flare Blitz or something. Again, Walking Wake is just really, really good in this situation. That being said, Walking Wake's not too good into Flutter Mane. So that means the right play is still Volt Switch here. I think we Volt Switch, and I think we come in... I think you Volt Switch into the Groudon, and you Moonblast into the Groudon. I think that's probably the best play. Yeah, and we just come with Bolt and fourth Protect. We just Encore right now. This is totally fine. What are you going to do? Like, Foul Play? Like, I don't care, you know? And you want to double that same slot, because Protect's going to be on cooldown. Let's see what they got. Big Moonblast. Probably gonna go Fire Terror this turn. Foul Plate, that's not doing anything to Miraidon. Yeah, we're good. Tailwind Peter's out. I think that that's still fine. We don't need to reapply this. Volt Switch. If you got Dark Terror, you're cooking, bro. Dark Terror is not even bad on Groudon. Like, it stops Psy Spam. It stops, like, getting Encore locked just like this. We're seeing their Terra. If they want to be Chad gamers and click Dark Terra, they can have it. Have it ever. Well, it could be Mentaloop Koraidon, I guess. Bright Powder, make me miss my Encore, bro. Nah, dude, you stuck. I guess maybe I should have targeted something else, but like I knew you were gonna Terra, right? So let's see if you get the double Protect. Nope, I'm just faster than Itzis. Well, I'm just faster, bro. What? Ugh, that's so much damage, bro. You good, homie? Wow. Thanks for the Photosynthesis booster. I really appreciate that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Speed boosting Big Wake. And he does get the double. That's actually so funny. I do feel lucky. I would. All right, this is gonna do a little bit of damage. I could flip out my Dark Terror here to mitigate some of that damage. I definitely could. We pin the Groudon. I think that it's fine to just I think what I'm going to do is just Hydro Steam the Groudon, and I think I'm just going to pivot in the Miraidon, like easy peasy. Actually, no, I need to get a Tailwind up. I'm thinking, actually, there's probably a few other ways to do this. Last turn white screen, I'm going to actually go for the Hydro Steam and then a Moonblast. And if you would like to go into Yawn stuff, that's fine. You're just going to take fat damage on your Flutter here. Wow, okay. That's fine with me. Break that Sash on that Flutter, easy peasy, baby. And then next turn, we Tailwind and just pin the Flutter. Hopefully I don't get yawned, but like, it's fine. We have the right tools. I think Miraidon actually just pins from here. We can just dazzle. Like, I think if we just set Tailwind here, Miraidon wins out. Yep. That's fine. You're probably going to be protecting. Let me think about this. Yeah, this is actually just fine. We're going to Hydro Steam here. We're going to set up a Tailwind. And Miraidon's going to come in hot. You do not want to pivot in the Miraidon. If you pivot in the Miraidon, that could be a weird game loss. You don't want to pivot in on like a Foul Play crit. Like you could say, well, you could pivot out Whims from Miraidon, and then if you target the Flutter Mane, don't even do that. You know what I mean? Just like get your Tailwind up. Miraidon can just literally come out, Fairy Terra, D-Gloom, 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 easy peasy, right? And if the Flutter Mane like protected here, the fact that you're keeping your Whims on the board, you can just Encore it, right? So we're actually letting them KO this mon, so we can bring in Miraidon for free. You're going to go for a Yawn into my Whims or Foul Play or whatever. Miraidon's going to come, it's going to cut that Yawn cycle out, and we're just going to be able to win easy peasy. Perfect. Miraidon. And getting that speed control, like you don't want to risk the speed ties on the Groudon. We did outspeed the Groudon before. We're a 252 set, but like we're 252 modest. Like we're not 252 like timid or anything. So like I don't want to risk that. So this should get the KO. That should get the KO. Easy peasy. Remember, we forced the Terra on that Groudon a little bit earlier. We're going to be able to pin their Flutter Mane here. And Walking Wake definitely did like a good enough job in this matchup. But, just think about how good it would be into like Terapagos with that Snarl to break the Terra Shell and get the special attack drop. How good it would be into like Shadow Rider or Lunala, which is everywhere right now. That'd be so strong. We can just Encore that Flutter if we want to. D-Gloom's going to be able to pop the Umbreon. Super effective specs, big damage. Yeah, there's so many things that I really think this Miraidon has like value into right now. Heck, even like just leading it in like Chi-Yu, it's so good. And even Ice Rider, you probably do like almost 30% if you flip on that like Dark Terra Snarl. Like, oh, that's so nice. I really think this is tech that I'm probably going to be messing around with in my own games in the future. Sun's going to fade, everything's going to wear off, but, you know, we still pin the Groudon easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Tailwind's a pretty good move. Good thing we used it. And let's just go get some wins. What are the percent chances of, like, mental herb flutter main? Press X to doubt. Dazzling Gleam. The right play, I would say, is going here. In case, like, and it was like AV Kyurem, even though we know it's not because it protected. Yeah, they're done, so bro. You don't even need the Encore. Miraidon busted. Don't seem to use it that often, but I might want to make my own version of Miraidon with, like, this really cool walking wake tech. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just like a wake Andy, but, like, I really like the tech, and I'm looking forward to building around with some of the ideas with it in my own teams. But that being said, that was a pretty good team. Be sure to add this rental to your game. We have 2 more teams left for you, and we've featured... We had the Earthworm in this one. We didn't really get to use it. We had, like, Bite, Mouse Hold. We had, like, the Grav Hypnosis Groudon. The next 2 teams are going to be, I think, pretty standard for people that want to get a good understanding of the game and just have, like, a really good team. They can get to the Master Ball every time. They're going to get a good understanding of mechanics. And hopefully you guys like these next 2 teams as well. Alright, so the 4th team on our little video today is going to be a standard take on Life Orb Shadow Rider. This is not going to be a Tailwind variant. You just have multiple forms of Fake Out, a little bit of redirection, a little bit of terrain control. One thing I really like about this team is the Grassy Glide on the Ogerpon Hearthflame. Really, really cool tech. Being able to flip on that Terra Mask, get that +1 attack boost, and just nuke something like a Kyogre, even if they have like a Tailwind up. Super, super underrated. Very, very cool tech. I've thought for like a while that more people should be doing that, so I was happy to see this on this rental code. Have a very standard Fairy Terra Booster Bolt, a Stellar Terra Sash Urshi Water. This is just a really, really good team for understanding how to play to your outs, and when you win, you understand exactly why you win. When you lose, you understand exactly why you lose. Maybe I needed a little bit more speed control. Maybe I needed to respect this mon more. Maybe I took the bait and got wide guarded. It's a very cut and dry, easy team to use, and I think it's great for a series like this. So let's hop into the games. Right after we check out the EVs, I almost forgot to do that. Holy moly, these are the EVs. Very, very standard EVs. Heavy defense and Sin makes sense with Ghost Terra on the Rocky Helmet. Very, very solid. AV Rillaboom, this is just to get the bump. I think the EVs on this team are really, really well made. Really, really good EVs for the most part. I still prefer Jolly Ursh, but I do understand the Adamant Ursh. That's all you really need is 149 here. And then a Life Orb Shadow Rider, very, very bulky, deceptively bulky Shadow Rider. So we're trying to get that nasty plot off if we can, or as many as-one boosts as possible. The Raging Bolt, going to be very, very good as well. I think it's right into the bump here. The bump happens when you get like that extra little tick from 196 to 198. That happens when you're combining your nature with EV investment to get that 10% boost. Every single stat happens at some point, and so a lot of these EVs just kind of hit the bump on this stuff. And then the Ogerpon 154, I'm pretty sure the outspeed's like maybe like Modest Lando, a couple other things. Outspeed's obviously a bunch of Earth Shets and stuff like that, but I think this is also the bump on the Ogerpon as well. So really, really good understanding of basic EV spreads for this team. I think it's a really, really solid team, and yeah, let's go hop into the games. Wish me luck. Here we go. Oh my gosh, is that a Zoroark? And a Vaporeon? What is this? Holy moly, that guy's team is like, no, it's Palkia? Oh my gosh, this guy's all over the place. Palkia is a pretty not great matchup into Shadow Rider. I actually don't think there's anything really wrong with me leading like Shadow Rider Ogerpon here. You follow me away, Zoroark Sucker Punch or Night Days or something like that. You just pin really easy. That being said, we need to bring the right mons to pin in the end game. I think Urshifu is actually a lot better into Palkia than it looks on paper. I think Urshifu is like mischievously good here, even though they have like a Vaporeon. I think it's still a really good mon. And then I'm going to bring the Rillaboom. I think Rillaboom's a really, really important mon in this team. Gives us a little bit of terrain control, a little bit of sustain on the Shadow Rider, but at the same time, it activates the Ogerpon Hearthflame's Grassy Glide. So it lets us just like, if we do like an Astral into their Palkia and we lose Shadow Rider, that's fine. We just come out and big pin it with Ogerpon. And I think we're going to be able to like let them Tailwind. I think that's going to be absolutely fine. We just let them Tailwind with the Torn, get some big damage, and then just pin the last 2 mons with like good Ogerpon play, Sash Ursh. I think we have all the tools that we need to have to actually win this one. Really, really cool team. I think Zoroark is actually, you know, the Unova Zoroark is actually really uncommon, and it gets a lot more tech than the Hisui one. The Hisui one's like big specs, hyper voice damage. Like I've used it a lot. I'm probably one of the better, you know, Zoroark players in the world, and I really like what the Unova one brings to the table, gets access to like Copycat and Counter and a bunch of really cool tech moves you wouldn't normally see. So right now, any of these Pokemon can be Zoroark, so I'm going to be respectful of that. I don't want to get Sucker Punch, because also it can be physical Zoroark, so I'm just going to go Follow Me and Astral. You can do whatever you want. Really is not the biggest thing in the world. You could say, why don't you go Nasty Plot and Astral? It's like, if I lose the Ogre... Actually, why don't I do that, bro? Okay. I'm gaming. I can even just Protect and hit the Garchomp. I will Nasty Plot though. Show me that Zoroark. Oh, Protect? It's Nasty Plot, boys. That could still be Zoroark. They could still be trying to trick us. Right? Are you Bleak Winding? We're going to find out. You can obviously Tailwind. I don't really care. Nice Tailwind. Awesome. This is going to be absolutely amazing. Now, that Torn should outspeed the Garchomp here. But our Ogerpon has some bulk, right? So we should be able to eat the Bleak Wind even if they crit, unless they have like a Sharp Beak or a Life Orb to get a good redirect going. And we're just going to fold these guys. Yep. And then we just come with like a Fake Out pin on our Rill, and we should be able to win. Let's see it. Bleak Wind, that can miss too. Don't give me a speed drop. Let's go. Ogerpon missing, dodging, bobbing, weaving. You got that EQ baby? EQ baby. Speed drop, never lucky, bro. Dark Pulse, it is Zoroark. I told you guys it was Zoroark. Yo, don't act like I didn't see it. Don't act. I knew what you had. Pop it. Oh, is that Sash? Cool. That works for me. That Mon is down. And you can bring out your Garchomp here. I think what I'm probably going to do is just protect my Shadow Rider, pivot in the Rillaboom, cut the Earthquake damage, because Earthquake's how you would break through this, and you probably protect with your Zoroark, and then from there I'll have a Fake Out pin, and I should just be able to win. You Fake Out pin the Zoroark, or Grassy Glide into the Zoroark or something like that, just get that thing off the board. Probably just a Fake Out. Ooh, Palkia. You gonna Surf me? I don't think it's wrong to just protect here and pivot in the Rillaboom, like I said. It lets me just get my terrain up, gives a little bit of sustain to that Shadow Rider, so I don't have to, you know, just lose myself to my Life Orb ticks. And I wonder if I'm gonna Fake Out the Zoroark. I'm thinking. Because I think I might just Grassy Glide, but, like, we'll see. Because I don't want to get Sucker Punched. They look to be special, but, like, they could still have Sucker Punch tech. This is awesome that we're forcing Terrace. Is it Steel? Is it Dark? Water double dip. Are you going for the big Surf? Are you Surfs up? You can. Yeah, that's why I played passive this turn. I didn't want to get bopped. Protect Zoroark Surf. Yeah, it's almost like this isn't my first rodeo, bro. It's almost like this isn't my first rodeo. Yep, you can have this. And then we know that the last month's Garchomp, right? So Zoroark has Protect. And now what's really cool about this play here is we don't know what the Palkia's item is. I don't want to go for like a Covert Cloak like pin, but now that the Zoroark can't Protect, I think I could just Grassy Glide it, honestly. But Rillaboom does not care about that. I can also just U-turn. I don't honestly need this Shadow Rider for anything else. But that being said, I don't know if this is Scarf Chomp in the back. I think I probably just pivot. Yo, someone just dropped a follow. There's someone just dropped a follow my Twitch channel, which is also linked in the description. While we're streaming this, right, or while we're recording this right now, I think I can probably just honestly pivot in my Ursh and just Wood Hammer the Palkia. Like, am I wrong? Like, I don't know if we... I think that you Wood Hammer it. Like, I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to use Fake Out. Like, Fake Out's a good move, but I don't need it. And then we just wait for their Tailwind to be gone, and we come in with Shadow Rider and just go... Easy peasy. Protect Palkia? Cool. Yeah, Wood Hammer, Fake Out, Grassy Glide, none of those would have mattered. I don't really care if they want a Dark Pulse. Encore. Cool. Yeah, I did not use... I pivoted out the Shadow Rider. See, Unova Zoroark gets an Encore. Hisui Zoroark doesn't get any of that stuff. So, we're very respectful of that. Awesome. So now I have the Aqua Jet pin into the Zoroark if I want. I have the Wood Hammer. Yeah, I think that that's fine. I think I'm going to just Aqua Jet it because they do outspeed us base normally. You can pivot in Garchomp if you want. I don't really care. This is a lot of damage. Aqua Jet pins Zoroark. Easy peasy. Got that crit on the Aqua Jet. That move, Urshifu should not be able to crit its like Surging Strikes or Wicked Blows. That should be like a requirement. Don't freeze me, bro. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve it. I didn't get frozen. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. Sometimes lucky. And Palkia down for the count. Last month's Garchomp, and we still have all 4 Mons, so we are fine into Garchomp here. Let's see. Is it Scarf Chomp? Ooh, Rillaboom holds on too. That's sick. Nice. So yeah, I think we can just go close combat. Watch, we're going to crit the close combat. Watch, it's going to be awesome. close combat, Grassy Glide should be able to pin a Garchomp. And yeah, this is just like a really, really easy team to use for like most players. I'm gonna go Stellar Terra because I want to flex. Oh my gosh, Stellar Terra, my favorite Terra type. Please let me know in the comments what your favorite Terra type is and why. I know a lot of people wanted Stellar Terra to like change the game and be like really cool and be like really complex. It's like, I really, really like that you get to keep your actual base defense typing and just gain a bunch more offensive like aggression. It's like the perfect Terra for like me. If you look at how I like to play the game, Stellar Terra is amazing. Grassy Glide's gonna chunk, take Rough Skin. I wanna see if it's Rocky Helmet too. But Stellar Terra Earth should be able to get the pin here. Rock Slide, it looks like, well, we don't know if they're scarfed, but like, we don't really care. Like, I don't care. It looks like Scarf Jump because it wouldn't normally have Rock Slide. Come on, Ursh. Come on, Ursh. CC baby, Stellar Terra boosted. Adam and Ursh, big damage. And we're going to go into one more team. One more team. And it's going to be a fun one. I think it's Cali Ice. Obviously, we want to feature, you know, we featured Kyogre, and then Groudon, and then Miraidon. I used Koraidon last week, and so since we just featured Shadow Rider, one of the best restricted in the game, I think it's probably a good idea to feature a little bit of Calyrex Ice for the last one. We haven't really used a Trick Room looking team yet, so let's hop into that one. And this is your second to last reminder. Drop a sub on the channel. Leave a like on the video. If we can get this one to 100 likes, I'll make another one of these videos next week. And let's take a look at the last team. All right, so the last team we're going to be taking a look at today is kind of like a fake Trick Room team with like heavy speed investment Calyrex Ice. This team on paper looks like hard TR. You have the Calyrex Ice, the Iron Hands, the redirecting Rock Ogre Palm with Sturdy. It looks so much like TR, and then you kind of just flip it on them with like a full speed Jolly Cali, Covert Cloak Wims with like screens and Encore, aggressive Landorus, you know, Sash, Urshifu. Really, really cool team. Let's take a look at these EVs. This Calyrex set is going to be able to outspeed Shadow Rider in a Tailwind and can just O-Coat with Crunch. I think that is so cool. It's one of my favorite sets. I really also like the Fire Terra on this guy. It's one of my favorite Terras on Calyrex recently. Blocks those Wisps, lets you just sit in front of like Koraidons and other stuff. I really, really like that tech. Sash Ursh, another Stellar Terra Ursh, very, very cool. Aggressive Ogre Pawn, you don't need anything more complicated than 252 cruise control for cool on these sturdy sets. Whimsicott, very, very defensive oriented with like HP Spadef, really, really good. And I also really like the Water Terra here for like the Cali Ice mirror match, very, very cool. I love to see this. Iron Hands, very, very standard, a little bit more attack than I'm used to using, so I think this guy's gonna hit like a truck. And then last but not least, Lando. I think I would prefer Timid Lando, just to be able to make sure we're always outspeeding Chi-Yu, because I still think Chi-Yu's a little bit of a problem. But that being said, Landorus is really, really good, and if we can actually get our hands on something, we have big KO potential with these, like, Sheer Force, Life Orb boosted moves. So really, really cool stuff. I also really like the Water Terra here. It's going to help a lot in that Cali Eye mirror match. It's going to help out a lot against Kyogre, too, if we happen to fight Kyogre. So that being said, we're going to hop into some games. Wish me luck. Here we go. All right, I saw the Groudon and the Valiant, and I was like, dude, it's Grav Hypnosis. The Volcarona is really, really cool there. I really like the Gouging Fire. I've been using a little bit of Gouging Groudon on my streams as well. I think it's a really, really cool core. I think we have a good matchup on paper versus this, though. Like, Calyrex forces a lot of their Mons to Terra. I can actually just lead Calyrex here and probably be in a good spot. I actually don't really mind leading Calyrex and Ogerpon, and just letting the Ogerpon like go down. Maybe we're forcing their Terra to do something like that, and then bring out the Whims, and then we're like, just kidding, we're really fast, right? I think that's probably a pretty good way to do this. And then we need to bring one Mon that has a good matchup into Volcarona. I think Volcarona is going to be a bigger problem than we're thinking. I think that Landorus is actually really good here. Should be able to do good neutral damage into Volk. Really pins the Fire Terra that Groudon goes into. That's why Landorus is on this team. It's deliberately made to punish the things that go like Fire Terra or like Steel Terra to block the Cali Eye. Like Landorus just cleans those up. And if anything won't like Water Terra to block it, that's where you would bring in something like Hands or Ogerpon. So really, really cool team. I think we're going to have a good matchup here. I need to watch out for Sash Ursh. I need to watch out for Booster like Destiny Bond Valiant. I need to watch out for Valiant using Wide Guard as well. Valiant on the rip might be a little bit problematic, honestly. So I might have to just like Ivy Cudgel that thing straight, or sorry, Power Whip it straight away. I don't want to miss Power Whip, but we're gonna see what happens here. And we also have like the Light Screen Whims. I don't think we're really gonna need that. Maybe want to go for some mid-game encores. I think people think that you need to lead with something and like force people into like protecting and using the wrong moves so you can encore, but no one really talks about like making them do something very specific turn 1 when you don't have a Wims on the board, and just pivoting in the Wims and then getting the Encore Lock. I think that's a play that you still see at really high-level regionals play that you just don't see on ladder. Like, for example, you lead with something that would be like really, really weak to like the Quiver Volk or the Swords Dance Groudon, and you say like, you can do that, right? I have nothing, there's no Wims. And then you just be like, JK, pivot in the Wims. I know you're using a passive turn. Punish it with Encore. Easy peasy. Lock it up. Lemon squeezy. I think this turn, I'm probably actually going to do this. I'm going to go Fire Terror. No, I'm not. I'm not doing that yet. You can Heat Crash me. I don't care. We're going to Lance, and we're going to Cudgel. And if you Fire Terror your Groudon, you're cooked. This is why, in my games, I go Water Terror Groudon on these sort of teams. Because, like, every Calyrex Ice has, like, an Ogerpon Rock attached to it. They are ready to just absolutely body your Groudon. And right now he's thinking like, oh no, and I can't Rage Powder because it's a grass type. Like, you're a little bit pinned here. You can Wisp my Calyrex. I don't really care, but you have to tear it. You see how this is a net loss. Let's see it. There's the Groudon. You got water, fire, crazy, right? Cool. So we're gonna stick some great damage here. And I still think that they're going with the P-Blades because they're thinking I'm just going Follow Me Trick Room. That's what they're thinking. And we're just faster than them. Just, oh my gosh, that damage, is that the crit? No. And I never get my crit, ever, right? Never, ever lucky get my crit, ever lucky. I think we're going to live, though. Yeah, we're gaming. We're freaking Calyrex Ice, bro. Like, what are you going to do? Heat Wave? That's going to miss, right? Oh my gosh. Take those misses. Oh my gosh, value. Let's go, Big Lance. Fat Lance. That's a +1. Oh, it's not a +1. Just kidding. He lived. The boy who lived. All right, so now that they're going to be playing this a little bit differently. I'm thinking. All right. I got the pin. All right, you protect here, and you hit the Volk. Volk's the threat. You can pin that Groudon with Tailwind. I don't need to waste my Terra. And if you protect your Volk, you protect your Volk. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, I'm not just letting you have anything. And if you, like I said, yeah, Rage Powder's completely okay there. Like, what? It's Ogerpon, bro. I could have just hit your Groudon anyways. And so you can go with like a P-Blades here. That move can miss, right? Easy KO on the Volk. There's my crit. I should have got that last turn, right? And let's see what they got here. P-Blades. Nice. Yep, good play. Not letting you have that one. And like I said, you can honestly just go into the... I just want to bring up my Wims. Perfect. Okay, so we can go into Wims. We can go to Lando. I think Wims into a Lando close the game is actually really good. Because our Lando has Water Terra too, so like we have just a really, really good matchman, like whatever they have in the back. Cool. Big Wims. Wims just pins their Groudon too. I can probably just get away. Like, if I was outspeeding their Groudon... Was that Urshi Dark? Ugh, brother. Ugh. I'm gonna click this. And just Tailwind up. Don't want to get killed by Sucker Punch. And then we'll pin the rest of the Ursh with Wims. So we pin their Groudon, get a +1 here. Chunk their Ursh, break Sash. Get hit. I mean, you can honestly still Wicked Blow the Cali, but you might be like Poison Jab in the Wims or something. You know what I mean? Like there's options, and I just want to not lose the Sucker. I think that's the thing. As long as we're not losing the Sucker Punch, I think we're good. If you want to click the Wicked Blow, but give me your Groudon for it, that's fine. And if for some reason you protect the Groudon and like Wicked Blow, make those like that's a fat read, I'm still gonna break your Sash, and then just come in with Lando and I just go full. You know, easy peasy. Cool. K1's up. No protects. We're gaming. What you got out here? Glacial Lance D's, bro. That's a +1. Ooh, look at that damage. Oh my gosh. Show it to me. So Groudon's down. It'd be so sick if we actually lived the Wicked Blow on the Cali. That would be like so rad. But I doubt. Yeah. I don't think there's a... Oh, I'm at 1! I'm such a gamer! Oh my gosh! Yo, Eevees though. This guy's like actually not even like really EV trained correctly, because like you could cut up this into like a 4/4 here and probably add a lot more value. You have a good pin here with the Bolt, but like not really. Pivot in the Lando, block that up, easy peasy. We wrote the right Mon for the right situation, and Moonblast pins Ursh, Lando wins the game. Cool. I'm trying to think anything they could do here. Like, what could you possibly do? I forced your Groudon Terra early, which means you can't even go like any sort of weird Terra Blast Ice, Terra Blast Poison, Raging Bolt. Oh my gosh. That would not happen here. Let's see what happens though. Like, I guess if I pivot out Cowley for Lando and you protect Ursh and you crit my Lando with a Draco, I'm sad. But I still think like Wims wins here, you know? Because we're getting your Ursh either way. Let's see it. Ursh protects, so we're not getting Ursh. Okay, what are you doing with this Bolt? Oh god, is he doing it? Moonblast? Is he really Dracoing? What a Chad. Let's see it. I mean, I willed this. Okay, Thunderbolt. He's trying to get a para. That's fair. We're cloaked though. He's orbed. Awesome. This is fine. The right play is to double into the Ursh. If you double protect, you double protect. I can't like really deal with that. It's fine. I don't think I'm in a bad spot here. I could honestly also have... I guess actually the right play would have been to Encore the Bolt into Thunderbolt and Earth Power the Ursh. That would have been a better play. But we're fine. Down for the count. And now we can just Encore. If we want. Or we can just double into it. It's fine. But yeah, I could have just Encore the Bolt and the Thunderbolt last turn. Alright. Here we go. Earth Power block, never lucky. But we take those wins though. I think this is a really cool team. These sort of like fake Trick Room bluff teams are great for getting to Master Ball. If you're someone that still needs to get to Master Ball this season, it's going to be a really, really easy to play team for you. Again, we just want to go for the Encore here. We don't want them being able to Draco anything. And that's going to be game. So, unless you're Mental or Bolt, even though we already know that you're Bolt. So, Bolt's going to go down for the count. Lando Stonk's going all the way. Look at this damage. Oof! Oh my gosh. Massive damage. That's the power of modest Lando for you right there. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Those, again, were 5 rental teams that you guys could be using in your own games. We use Kyogre, we use Groudon, we use Miraidon, we use Shadow Rider, we use Ice Rider. A good blend of of a bunch of different play styles while using different restricteds. If you guys like this series, please think about leaving a like. If we get over 100, I'll make another one. And don't forget to drop that sub on the channel. I don't want to be that guy that asks over and over and over again, but we make videos every single day on this channel. We do draft league content, we do team building. I give you guys a bunch of rentals. We use different meme teams basically every single day. So if you guys want to get better at VGC and prep for things like, you know, Pokemon Champions stuff coming out, this is probably a place that you might want to be for at least a little while. So either than that, all things said, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.